Hi, we're live now.
Oh, we're live.
Hi to those who've signed in. I saw Christine signed in a while ago. Hey, Christine, how are you?
Hello.
We're simultaneously doing it through Zoom, so we can't really like hear those on Facebook Live, but we will see your chats. So send us a quick message. We're about to start in about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Again, hi to those on Facebook Live.
Hello, everyone. I wish I could know who's in there, but well, we'll be able to figure it out later. We'll figure it out. But thank you so much, whoever you are, for dropping by. And we hope that you can stay and be entertained. Less than a minute.
Okay, so this is our first time to integrate Zoom with Facebook Live. This is our class number 3.
Actually, 4.
Oh, class number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We're trying not to count the very first one because we didn't know what we were doing. We still don't quite know up to this point, but getting there. But glad you guys can
See
join us.
Neneng and hi Neneng.
Oh, from Canada. Hi.
Kumusta na? How's married life?
All right, it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock? Okay.
Yes. Welcome once again, everyone, to 7 with Chad, Marvie. If it's your first time to join us, please bear with us, okay? There's a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out technology-wise, and at the same time, treat these more like not a formal cooking class, but rather like a reality cooking show, because you'll see us make mistakes and all that.
Yeah, this is really for it's an advocacy for us, but it's also a lot of fun. We're not stars.
We don't know what we're doing.
But we do want to share with those of you who are really busy, how to whip up a quick meal, in less than an hour. So again, say hi to Renee, Gay Law, who's from Siliman. Hello.
Angela, hello. Leah.
Barry Lusk is actually
Barry, you're here.
watching. So
All right.
anyway, last week we had the Mother's Day special, and I want to thank Darren Williams and Mike Webster for joining us in cooking the Spanish salmon or Spanish tuna, whatever you used. I know that Aksanti also joined us. She cooked for her mom, Leah. So thank you so much. And we got your feedback. I'm so glad that everybody liked that dish. Again, it's very rich, it's very flavorful. It's not something you want to eat every single week, but
I do.
It went away really fast for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can eat it every day. I really like that one.
But thank you for the feedback, and I'm glad that you were able to cook along with us. So what do we have for this afternoon?
Okay, so today we're actually doing a Mexican casserole. Though the original recipe actually called for about 11 ingredients, okay? But like what we promised you at 7, from the name itself, we're only going to try to share with you dishes that have 7 ingredients or less. So from 11, this recipe, we pared it down to 7, to the bare minimum of what we felt like after testing it with our kids, with our teens. These are the ingredients that you need to have, okay? to get the maximum flavor from this. So we have friends who are actually Mexican. They will know what I'm talking about. This is pared down because their food and their dishes are so rich. That's what I love about it. So from 11 to 7, okay? Here we go. Honey, so the first thing.
So before we go there, those of you who are on Zoom, if you could unmute yourself and let us know if you're trying to cook along with us. We'd like to know who else is cooking.
Is anybody cooking along with us? Can you please let us know? No one?
Angela, hi.
Emojis are. We're cooking now too.
Oh, Clint and Judy.
Oh, wow. Wow, we'll be into the test because Judy is
I know. We have a true-blooded Mexican right here. Okay.
100% Mexican. Okay, Judy, this is very simple. It's probably not as elaborate as what your mom used to cook for you, but we'll do our best, okay?
It'll be good. It'll be good. I like it. I love it. But okay, the first thing we're going to do is, if you're doing this traditionally, meaning you're going to use the skillet on your stove top and then you're using the traditional oven, the first thing we need you to do now is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, please. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Hi, Rick. And then, Leah, are you cooking with us, Leah? Leah is not cooking with us? Okay. Now, the way I'm doing it today is not going to be the traditional manner, all right? Instead of browning and cooking my ground beef on your stovetop, on the stovetop, I'm going to use the electric oil core skillet, okay? This is one way I cut down on time a lot. So instead of a two-step recipe, I'm gonna do a one-step in the E-asy. So if you notice, Leah, because you will be using this in the future, right? What you have to do first is put up your temperature to 400 degrees. I've been preheating this, okay, to 400 degrees. Judy, you're good? Your oven is preheating? Judy.
I think Darren and Twanda are also.
Yes.
We got, we're preheating the oven. We're using electric skillet as well.
Okay, so while we're waiting on our oven to reach the temperature, grab your skillet, put it on your stovetop, put it on medium-high heat, okay? And we're going to brown our beef first. Now, one thing that I want to give you as a tip, I've stopped using oil a long time ago. So when I'm browning my meat, instead of using oil, what I do is I just add some water, okay? So in the E-asy, like this one, oh, it's almost done at 400 degrees. When I brown my beef, this is what I'm going to use today. But like I said, for every recipe we share, you can always choose your protein. Like last week, we did salmon or tuna or mushrooms. We actually cooked all three and they were all good.
Good.
The same way for your casserole, this one today, because my hubby wanted beef. You can also use ground chicken actually, or ground turkey. And later tonight, actually, I'm making the same exact dish for a friend who's vegan. So I'm substituting my beef with mushrooms, okay? So ready? Judy and everyone cooking along, ready to brown your beef? Okay, here we go. On your stovetop or on my skillet, we're going to add, I'm going to add about half a cup of water and the 2 cups or 1 pound of meat. There you go, in it goes. Here you go, honey.
All right.
I tell him what to do.
I'm the assistant today.
No, he's the real cook between the two of us. He's the chef. I'm the one who likes simple. Chad will want all the ingredients. Me, I always cut everything down. I see Judy cooking. Come on, Judy. With the hubby. Come on, Clint. Clint is browning the meat as well, okay? So this will take about 5 minutes. Just for the whole thing to be browned up a little bit to get rid of the pink, okay? We don't have to thoroughly cook it doesn't have to be long on your skillet because we are baking it soon after. All right. Just separate your beef. Judy, are you also using beef by any chance?
We're using ground turkey.
Oh, see, they're the healthier ones.
Marvie wanted to use chicken, and I
I
said,
wanted to use
"Well, let's use beef. You know, it's like flavorful."
the red meat kind of guy.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know, right? So I'm like, okay, you can have that.
Are
Now-
you guys adding the seasoning right now or afterwards?
After, so I am actually not going to add any salt, nothing to this. Now I will tell you, the original recipe actually calls for some taco seasoning for your meat, but I chose to eliminate it because we are really trying to eat healthy in our household, because our salsa and our chips actually have salt, and our chili beans is already like flavored. It's been seasoned. Because of that, and you have cheese and sour cream, it's just like a lot of flavor. We decided to cut down on the seasoning and our sodium, our salt, by eliminating the taco seasoning. Okay, Judy, you may do the same thing. I promise you, you will not even miss it because of all the other flavors. So we're
Okay.
We're gonna walk through the 7 ingredients that we have.
We have everything that you have. So we have the beef, and then we have our salsa. We always prefer the chunky ones for this, okay? Just so you can have a little bit more of the texture, not just the flavor of the tomato and everything else. I always choose the chunky one. Try to get the chunky one. And then we have our beef. I grabbed a bottle of chili beans. That's 16 ounces. That's equivalent to the 2 cups that we need for our recipe. And then next to that, we have our ground tortilla chips. Now, somebody was asking me, where do I find the tortilla chips that's ground? I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention to you. You just get your regular chips, your tortilla chips. And then what I do is I put that in a Ziploc, and then I pound on it in the Ziploc. That's how I crushed it like this. You don't have to ground it necessarily to be powdery, just like little bits of pieces. So crushed. And then we have our sour cream, our olives, and our cheese. And I did say this is optional. I have some green onions because this is the 8th ingredient that I have with me today. You don't need this. I am just adding it today to show you an example of what you can add back in, okay? So the 7 bare minimum are these that I just mentioned. The green onions is optional. So
And,
do you see this beef?
Yeah, the taco seasoning is optional too, if you do like it more flavorful. So
Judy, is your meat brown at this point, your turkey?
yeah, our meat is very brown now, so we're good.
Okay, we're good. So after browning your meat, Judy, you're going to add, honey, please add your salsa.
All right, simple enough. I hope it's cool.
If you want a lot more of the tomato, what I do is I actually add some fresh tomatoes. I just dice it up, okay? About half a cup. But today we're not doing that. There goes. All your salsa. Your salsa is in, Judy?
I got a little bit of water just to.
We're a little behind, but we're watching. We're behind you guys. Our meat needs just a little bit more.
All
No
righty.
problem.
You don't have to cook it thoroughly, Judy, because it will cook through some more in your oven.
That's right.
You don't have to cook through completely. Just a little
Okay.
bit, because it will continue to cook when you bake it.
Yeah, ours just we were talking a lot. So.
So I think that's fine. You're good to go. Add in your salsa. Add in your salsa because it will continue to cook when you bake it. And your beans. Now, some people may opt to just add plain pinto beans. That's also fine. Go ahead, honey. Please work.
So
Go ahead.
how do I dry out the water later on?
It will just dry up on its own.
Got it.
our tortilla, if you feel like this is a little bit wet because of the water earlier, that's fine. You know why? Your tortilla chips is going to soak all of that up. Okay?
Do I mix or do I?
You can
just
mix
later?
it.
Okay.
Have you mixed it, Judy? Everything good?
We're having a hard time. My husband's trying to open the salsa can.
Come on, Clint. Work those muscles.
Yeah, Hercules for me.
Try to put him on the spotlight. Let's see Clint doing this. Look at him flex. We're just having fun. There you go. He's on the, you're on the
Say
spotlight.
hi. You're live on Facebook. Perfect. Awesome.
We have people from Canada. I do have a friend who's tuning in from Arkansas. I don't know everyone else. Okay.
Hey, Marvie.
All right.
Marvie.
So, what
Marvie.
we need Judy to do next, the ones who are doing it traditionally, I'm going to need you to pour this mixture into your baking dish,
Oh yeah.
right? Because you're doing this traditionally. So from your skillet, pour this mixture into your baking dish, your rectangular 9 by 13.
Hey, Marvie. Do we do the whole cup, the whole can of salsa?
Yes.
The 15 ounce?
Ounces? Yes, that's 2 cups.
Okay.
That's small.
It's just too small, I guess.
Yes.
9 by 9.
9 by 13. It's
Okay.
like this.
All right, it's like the Pyrex one. That's really good.
If you're doing it in your oven. You got it? This bubbly, boiling beautifully.
Right?
Yeah, it does. A little bit. Depending on Judy and Clint. We're putting them on the spot. You're our favorite cook-alongers
How
today.
about Twanda? Are you joining us today?
We're here.
Oh,
All right.
there you go.
Where you at?
Easy.
Where you? What part of the cooking are you now?
They're using
I'm
the
just browning the turkey.
Got it. Okay.
Ready? Okay, so you have your dish pan. What I need you to do now is pour this mixture into your dish pan. Now for us, the ones who are using the EOC, as soon as this is done, the mixture, from 400 degrees, we're going to bring our temperature down, Wanda, to 300.
Kidoki.
Okay?
400 now.
Temperature to 300 when this mixture is done, but I don't think you're done. You're there yet, yeah? So we brought ours down. Judy, you're good? Can you unmute yourself, Judy? Unmute yourself, please.
Thanks. Do I do the black olives too, or am I waiting on that?
The salsa, it's just the salsa, the chili beans, and the beef at this point.
Smells good.
Okay? That's your mixture. Is it done? Okay, please pour it into your dish pan at this point.
How about Amika? Amika, are you there?
No, they're not with us today.
Oh, okay. Took a break today.
Those are some of our favorite partners in cooking. All right. Good, Judy. And then, is your oven completely preheated to 350
I
now?
think I need to move on to the next step here.
Okay. Tawanda, are you catching up?
Still
After-
browning.
Okay, you just have to procedure after the mixture, and we lowered it to 300. This is what we're gonna do first for our egg. Judy, one is in our baking pan. What you need to do next is spread it out evenly. Okay, spread it out as a layer, and then
Okay.
your crushed tortilla chip evenly.
Okay, I think it's even already.
Good job.
Evenly around.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. All right.
You guys see this?
I don't think Michelle has shifted the camera.
That's not even, honey.
That looks even enough. There you go. Do you need more chips?
There you go. That's it. Okay. So Judy, do you see how this looks like? Your tortilla chips on top. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
After that, Are you ready to move on? After that, the next
Almost.
is your
Yes. Yeah, we good.
on top of the tortilla chips. This time will be the sour cream. Come on, honey.
Sour cream. And is that going to be spread evenly?
All the sour cream evenly, please.
I'll even that out in a minute.
He's not doing it evenly. He's not following my instructions.
Still even out.
You see this man?
I am following instructions. See, now I'm gonna even it out. Oops.
Oh, see, it's messy.
It tastes good.
Don't get him.
Good job, Chad.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying.
And then after the sour cream, here's next. Your olives, Judy. Okay. If your olives are sliced, you simply spread it out on top as well. Okay. Last time when I did this for my family, because our kids don't like olives, what I did is I just put it on one half of it. And I remember which side it is, okay? So they don't get the side with olives. So I half it like that. But because we like olives, we're gonna do everything now. My olives are not cut and sliced. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these whole olives here in my slicer and slice it right now pretty fast. Ta-da! And then my honey will do it. Please
Okay.
spread. There you go.
Okay, so there you go. Sliced olives.
Hey Marvie, what cone did you use for the olives?
Number, I don't know.
Number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Number 4? Okay, thank you.
This is a food guard. Put everything in the food guard. Push it down and bam, 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 bam. Did you see how fast that was? This is my BF. This machine is my BF. Here, right here.
Here's the husband.
It's my hubby.
That's good. It's okay.
This is the BF.
It's a non-living and non-breathing thing.
It's my best friend. This one in the kitchen, my BF.
Okay.
The machine. I love it. Okay. After the olives, you did that, Judy, in your pan. Good. Now, because we have the green onions, we're also going to spread out the onion on top. Okay. Go ahead, honey. All right. And then, Judy, are you using shredded grated cheese? Judy, are you using shredded cheese?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Now, my cheese, if you see, is a block. Okay. Because I find that freshly shredded cheese is so much more flavorful. So I try to get the blocked one. And then I'm going to use my BF again.
Okay.
Shred my cheese, okay? So this whole thing, this whole block is going in there.
Wow.
This is 2 cups. This is a whole pound of cheese, and they're all gonna go in there.
Okay.
I know, right? You want this?
Sure. Okay.
Now my honey's gonna. Do you see how fast this is? Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da,
Maybe
ta-da.
2 cups doesn't need the whole block, you know?
No, it's the whole block. It's
Okay.
Okay, here you go.
We'll live it up. We'll live it up for tonight. We're gonna use some really cheesy Mexican casserole.
We're gonna eat that. Oh.
This is more than look at this, honey. It's like, you sure?
Yes.
No, this is too much already.
Okay. My husband is like, no, that's too much. That's too much.
There's like a lot of cheese already.
Should we or should? Okay.
I think
fine.
I'm good with this.
Okay, he's good. He got scared when he saw how much cheese. You know, that's true. When you try to measure this with a cup, this is going to be like 2 cups already, right?
It's more than that. I'm gonna have to work out a lot to burn this off.
It's okay. I don't have to do that because I don't work out. Wah.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
No, there's more.
You want to use everything?
Yes.
This is a lot of cheese.
Here, this it's not covered. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. Do you see all that goodness? Judy, are you good? The cheese is the final layer. And
Yeah,
then-
this is how it's looking.
perfect.
Oh yeah, look at that.
All right. Now, if your oven is ready at 350, please put that in your oven now. And then for those of us who are using the electric skillet, we simply cover it.
Okay.
And because we already put the temperature down to 300, here's the trick. If the original recipe says bake it at 350 for 30 minutes, we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to time this for 30 minutes, please.
Okay.
The only difference is this. We did not preheat a big oven. Isn't that cool? And then the other thing is, Tawanda and Leia, if you want your cheese layer to be a little bit like brown for later, the only thing you have to do is when you have about 10 minutes left on your timer, you crank your lid a little bit open.
That's true.
Cool?
Perfect.
That's it.
So
Yes.
simple, right? You come home from work, you're tired. As long as you have these ingredients, you could buy it the weekend before. It's easy to whip up. So that's been 28 minutes so far. 28 minutes. Now we're going to move on to Marvie's apple streusel, right? While we're waiting for this.
Oh, but now we have to lower the temperature even
Oh.
more.
So you hear this clicking sound? That means so even if it's already at, so we set it at 300, right? The thing about this
System.
electric oil skillet is it gets to that point, and once it clicks, it's actually telling you, okay, you gotta lower the heat because otherwise it will rise above the 300. So I'm gonna lower it now to,
We're going to lower the heat so that the temperature inside does not go very high. This system is designed to be able to retain as much as 93% of the nutrients in your food if you arrest the rise of temperature inside. We're doing that by lowering the temperature to 275 at this point, okay? Until that clicking sound stops. Cool?
okay, perfect.
Judy, you're good? Judy,
Any
your
questions?
casserole is in the oven?
Great.
Awesome. Tawanda, you're good?
In the oven.
Tawanda.
We're good.
We're good.
We're
Perfect.
getting there.
You're good. All right, let me just put this away.
75.
Grab the other stuff. Let me grab. Can you please grab all of these so we can move them?
Sure. Which one is that?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for we got our savory stuff. Now it's time for the sweet stuff. Well, not so sweet, but it's apple, you know. It's kind of like that compromise between healthy sugar. Healthy sugar that comes with the apple.
I don't know if that made sense.
It doesn't make sense. Sorry. I'm not really very good at explaining things here.
All right, perfect. So now, if you know me, I'm a cake person. I love cakes. Like when we were newlyweds, he complained because I was like baking this chocolate cake that I really perfected. Like for how long?
For a year. So in our first year of marriage, she made me give up working out, and then she baked a cake every single day. So obviously I gained a lot of pounds in that first year. And now that we're on shelter in place, right? I feel like we're going back a little there. We've been eating a lot of baked goods because Marvie has this passion for trying out new recipes that she wants to share with you guys on a Sunday class like this. So anyway, this is one that it's not a cake though. It's an apple streusel. So this is good. You can eat it with vanilla ice cream. It's really good.
Sorry. So this is my attempt to start having like healthier options for the sweets. Okay. Because there's not much flour. There still is flour, but not much flour. Okay. Here we go with our apple streusel. Do you hear the clicking sound?
We need to
It's
lower
so
it
clicking,
again.
right?
Mhm.
Let's lower it again to 250. So Tawanda, if yours is also doing this, keep lowering it all the way to 250.
Okay.
It really saves a lot of power, huh?
So for our apple streusel, sorry. All right, so first of all, I said 2 large apples. If not very large apples, then you have, if it's bigger than this a little bit, 3 of these. But because I have the small ones actually, I'm gonna do 5, okay? Now, are your apples sliced, Judy? Have they been cut up? Not yet? Okay, we're gonna try to slice our apples pretty fast. Bam, 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 bam. Come on, Clint. Get those muscles going again and slice the apples. And
We're gonna pass on the dessert. We'll watch you guys on this one.
Oh, okay, that's what. Okay, well, here's the recipe for this because it's really good too. Okay, this is actually like your apple pie. We got
How small do we slice the apples?
How small do we slice the apples?
Oh, like thin slice, like as thin as you can. Like for me, for example, look, I have a thin cut slicer. Again, my BF, my machine. All right, my best friend. All I'm gonna do, Tawanda, is use cone number 4. This is how thinly cut, Judy, as thin as you can. You wanna show them, honey?
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like a
As
potato
a chip.
potato chip. Yeah.
If you're using a knife, yeah, just go as thin as you can. Like you're almost like a slicing onion if you don't have this machine.
Maybe a quarter of an inch.
Right? So if you're using this machine, like Tawanda, just to the core. You see how fast it is?
You want me to do that?
Yes, honey.
Okay. Then you could go ahead and explain some more.
There you go. So while he's slicing all these things, if you're doing the oven again, Tawanda, you're doing this in the oven again?
No, I was gonna do it on the stove in the 9.
Okay, perfect. Because last time you did something in your oven, right? But okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Can we use all 5 apples?
Yes, honey, please.
Are you getting seeds?
No, we're not getting seeds. Just make sure you go around the core. Like keep putting the apple when you're slicing it, okay?
Yeah, some apples have a lot of seeds. This one does not.
Okay, I think honey we can do with 4. All right.
I could hear your cutter there.
Now, this particular recipe, once again, actually requires baking in the regular oven. Okay, like this one. But today, as usual, I am not going to use my traditional oven. I will just use this, a regular skillet with cover, and I'm gonna bake my apple streusel on the stove top. Okay?
Perfect.
So there's the apples. And what are we gonna do first? Tawanda, are you ready? What you do with your apples is this. In a bowl, you're gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar in a bowl.
With the apples?
Yes, sir. 1/3 cup of sugar. Now, this is where you can decide on, depending on how sweet you want it. I'm really trying to cut it down. It actually calls for 1/2 cup of sugar, but I'm going to do 1/3. So you can do whatever you want, T, okay? So here's 1/3 of sugar with the apple, honey, please, here.
All right. Good.
And then you're gonna add some cinnamon. You will add 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Cinnamon Cara Costco. 1/4? Well, I don't have 1/4.
You can use the 1/2. Here, and then 1/2. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And vanilla.
1/4 as well?
No. Oh yes, it's 1/4 teaspoon.
How much vanilla?
1/4.
1/4 as well.
1/2 of 1/2. Because I have a half teaspoon measuring spoon. Okay. Do we mix it or no?
And then after that, you toss.
Oh, toss it.
You
That's-
toss like a salad.
I guess that's the right word. Toss it.
To make sure we mix all the sugar, the cinnamon, and the vanilla into the apple.
Actually, this looks good as it is, huh?
So with this, you can actually use whatever kind of apples you prefer. Our household is partial to Fuji and Honeycrisp.
Hey, Mikael, can you show in this camera? I just want to show them really quick. There you go.
There. That's how you toss it, okay?
Yep.
And then after you do this, if you're using
Thank you, Priya.
a regular convection or regular oven rather, Judy, what you're gonna have to do next is transfer this to your baking dish, okay? I would suggest like a casserole dish, whether the square one or anything round you have. Okay, that's the next thing you're gonna do. But for us, Tuwanda, we move this to our 9-inch pan.
Ta-da.
Here we go. And we layer it, okay? Layer as usual, layer.
You don't have to spray it with any spray.
No,
Don't have to.
nothing, no oil, no nothing.
Oh, I wish I could eat it.
Hi, Kai. How are you?
What did you say? Okay. Now, if you notice, Judy, we did not remove or peel the skin. We
Yep.
did not remove, okay? We simply pre-washed our apples thoroughly because if you haven't heard yet, for our audience, as much as possible, we do not peel our vegetables and fruits because a lot of the nutrients are actually in the skin.
Yep.
Okay,
Like carrots,
there. And then
sweet potato.
you set this aside. You set that aside, and then the next thing you're gonna do is here, your 1/2 cup of butter, right? You have 1/2 cup of butter, T. You put it in the bowl.
Yes.
But what you do, this is not melted butter. So it's cold. That's why my recipe said cold butter. And what you do is you slice it up into smaller pieces like that. You see that? Cut it up,
Simple.
very small pieces with your knife.
I was gonna do it perfectly aligned.
No, it's okay.
Is that in your apple bowl or in a new bowl?
In a separate bowl, we set aside the seasoned.
Okay, separate bowl.
Yeah, we already moved our apples tea to the skillet, so the bowl is free.
This is another bowl.
The clean bowl. Okay, got it.
Yes. All right.
Next.
And then you add sugar with this one. This time, 1/2 cup. Go ahead, honey.
Wow. Again, you can I guess put whatever you want. You can make it 1/4 cup. But this is we didn't really see Marvie make this last time, but we ate it and it was good. And this is the ratio that she used.
What did you add?
Sugar?
1/4?
1/2.
That's one. That's one.
Oh, 1/3. Okay. So
Uh-oh. It's okay. We don't want it to sweet.
yeah, let's just do 1/3.
Do you see how we justified our mistake really quickly? No, but for real, you can always adjust the amount of sugar. You can go from 1/4 to 1/2 cup. Okay? But because in our family, you know what they love eating is ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's even more sweetness and sugar, right? So I don't feel bad about cutting down the sugar as much as I can.
It gives me
Okay.
a thought.
And then next,
Maybe we should do homemade ice cream and Leia Batita will teach us how to make homemade ice cream next time.
okay, what else you put in there? 1/2 cup of flour.
Okay, I'll use 1/2 this time. I have, how come I don't have halves? Oh, here,
Okay.
here you go. Flour? Oh, okay. It's this nice looking thing here.
Now the flour that you use, it doesn't matter what you have. Okay, you can use whatever kind.
So I have 1/4. That's easy. 2 1/4 equals 1/2. 1/4, and then another
1/4.
1/4.
Okay, so this is actually the streusel. Now, in case you're wondering, do you know what the difference is between a streusel and a strudel?
No, why don't you tell us?
I used to think they were the same, and I thought you can just use one over the other. They're not the same. A strudel is this type of pastry that has with thin layers of pastry that has fruit filling. That's the strudel. Okay, the streusel is the sweet crumbly thing that you put on top of desserts. So this is the streusel. Okay, and the last thing we're going to add to this one is 1 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Actually 1 1/2 because I like more cinnamon. So 1 1/2.
I'll just do 3 1/2s.
All right, perfect. 1, 2, 3. The recipe actually calls for just a teaspoon. I love cinnamon though, so I add more cinnamon. And then the other thing you can add to this is actually about 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, if you have it, okay? Then here's what we're gonna do next. That's why I'm putting on my gloves.
Oh,
You rub this mixture. Do you see this mixture, Mikael? Where's Mikael?
there you go.
There. There. Right? We're going to use our hands to rub this mixture through our fingers. Do you see this? Do you see what I'm doing? There. You know, the butter is actually solid, right? It's just straight from the fridge, and we sliced it. Do you see that? So I'm actually mixing the butter, the flour, the cinnamon, and the sugar, doing this through your fingers. You rub through your fingers. So your hand with your fingers, it goes through your
It
fingers.
smells really good. You know what it smells here, right? It smells like a holiday. So, well, it's
It's
summer
like
soon,
fall,
so we're
yeah.
gonna have
There, Judy, do you see this?
we're gonna have a
This
lot
is
of
what you're
kids
gonna
over.
do. Okay. So you will do this until it's grainy. Everything feels grainy because it will become grainy when the butter is completely combined with the flour and your sugar.
You need me to take over?
Hey, Marvie,
Yes.
did you guys add lard?
That's like,
No, it was the butter.
Butter,
Oh, it was butter and flour, right?
flour, yeah.
Butter,
Um,
flour, sugar,
Yeah,
and cinnamon.
no lard.
No lard.
no lard. Okay. Just
The butter was not melted, as most dessert recipes would call for. I think that's what threw you off. A lot of times when we use butter for any dessert, it's usually melted or softened, right? But
oh
you see
yeah.
a block that looked like lard, but it's butter that's cold.
Okay, that makes sense. Gracias.
Yeah, it looks good.
De nada.
It smells good too.
See, I know a Spanish word. Ah, yay. I practiced. All right, do you see this? Okay, let me just show you the mixture. Mikael, here, honey, can you pick up the bowl? Let's just show them what it looks like. You see this?
Oops.
That's what it looks like. Do you see?
No, we can't see because your hands are there.
Oh, there.
Here,
Come in. What's the mixture?
let's show them in the bowl.
Oh, the bowl, but
Yeah,
it's in my hand. Okay,
there you go.
there. That's how it's turning. Okay.
So it looks good.
Can you put it down, please?
Okay.
There you go. We have to work on our blocking. We tend to like be on top of each other. All right, and then what do you do with this? Can you please grab
The apples?
the apples?
Okay.
And then when it's already like this, see they all mixed together, right? You just put this generously on top and drop it. Okay. So after you drop it on top of your apples, you're going to bake this at 350 degrees in your traditional oven.
So you could have done it with your Mexican casserole, really, right? Yeah.
You will bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how brown and crispy you want your streusel. Now, a lot of people would add rolled oats, Judy. You can add like rolled oats, you know, raw, not the one that's ground, okay? The one that's so traditional, so they're like big kernels of oat. You add about 1/3 of that. Some people would do that because they want it a lot more crispy with a lot more texture, the streusel.
Yeah, you know how when you order coffee cake at a Starbucks and they have the crunchy mixture on the top? That's how
That's
it
the
turns out.
streusel.
Yeah, that's the, yeah.
All right, I'm just removing them from my fingers.
But we don't have
and
crust.
adding
We don't have
them.
crust, remember? So this kind of like replaces that piece.
How many more minutes do we have in that, honey? Okay, we're just checking our EOC, our skillet, to see. How's your casserole turning out, Judy? How much more?
12 minutes for us.
How many more minutes do you have on yours? All right.
We have 8 minutes.
Huh? You got
8 minutes.
8
Oh,
minutes,
8.
okay.
Is it turning out well? Is it like bubbly on top?
Yep, it looks really good.
It is so good. The first time I made it, I thought I made like a big batch and I'm gonna have some leftovers. Leftovers.
It's really,
And then Chad broke out a bottle of wine.
yeah, I drank just a glass, but it was good. It was
Yes.
good.
Ooh.
Then you eat the leftover the next day, then you have another glass of wine.
There was no leftover, was there?
I think there was a little leftover, just enough for one serving.
For one person. That's it. And then to Wanda, because we're doing the skillet on the stovetop, we're going to bake this on the stovetop at a medium heat only.
Okay.
In a regular oven, Judy, this is going to be for about, like I said, 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, at 350 degrees. Cool. So now this is going on the stovetop. At medium heat. There you go.
Rhea, can you show the stovetop?
See, it's at medium.
There you go. Okay. Show them this one.
There. Okay, so that's only on medium heat. Perfect. So now this has 10 minutes left here. And like I said earlier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank the lid open just a little for the last 10 minutes. Do you want to see what it's turning out to be? You want to see? You want to see? Ta-da! You see that? Pretty, huh? There you go. So for the last 10 minutes, this is going to be open, and I'm just going to bring up the temperature to 300. And that will turn out to be a lot more brown. Okay? Is there any questions so far?
Yep.
Are you guys doing good? Tawanda? We never heard from T. How are you doing, T?
Yes.
We're making it.
Yeah, we're making it. We're still making it. Mom messed up.
I want to hear your whole family cooking.
Thank you, God.
There's no way to mess up.
God, put the scissors down.
Hey,
Creating a memory. That's good.
Yes.
hey, a question about the streusel. The streusel cooked in the 9-inch pan on the stove. Is it still 25 to 30 minutes?
Yes.
It's
So
still.
what's going to happen is you're going to time it for like 30 minutes. The only difference is, again, with the way that we're cooking it on the stovetop, because we have that bake-o valve system, when it starts cooking, click, 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 we lower the temperature so that stops. And then Clint, in the last 10 minutes on the stovetop, you need to, at medium, just open the lid because you want your streusel to brown, okay? Because every time you have your lid full down, like fully covered, if your skillet's feel fully covered, the cooking effect typically is that of baking. Doesn't
Gotcha.
things out. So you want to open it a little bit so air can flow through. That is what helps crisp out or brown things.
But it's
Oh.
mess up with this apple streusel. Like yeah, it'll still taste good.
Okay.
Brown, like what level of browning and all that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Ivan and Adri, Kevin, somebody from my home city, Bing Nasita, hello.
Bing, all the way from the Philippines.
There's Benny. Where's Benny now? Europe?
Europe. Benny, you're here. Hi. This is our newfound thing, passion. Okay, so for some of you who have never seen us do this, again, I just want to reiterate, 7 is all about our advocacy of wanting to help people go back to cooking at home. Okay, cooking at home with the hubby and with the kids. It's a great date thing, right, Judy?
Yeah, we don't eat
Would you
out
agree?
anymore, so we just cook at home.
It's a fun thing to do with your partner, okay? We really want to encourage people to do that because more and more, especially in our current situation, we're realizing the best way to actually even watch our diet and make sure somehow that we're eating healthy like we should is to prepare our own meals, right? But the problem is if you're like me, I don't necessarily like to cook. So every time I want to like try something new and I see the recipe list, the ingredients, the list of ingredients, I get overwhelmed when it's more than 7. So it's like if there's 10 ingredients, I'm not gonna even look at that. I look for the ones with only 3. I'm good with tweaking things to bring down the number of ingredients to 3, between 3 to 7. So that's what we're doing. So these recipes we're sharing with you every week. A lot of them are not our own recipes. We did not come up with them, but for a few, we found them on the internet, like you probably do, but we tweak them to make them simpler. And then we test them with our teens, a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, because it's hard. They're sometimes picky, or sometimes we are the ones picky.
Yeah.
So it's tested. If they like it and we all like it, then we feel like you might like it
This
too.
is rated teen approved. Like classics recipe, that's a traditional Filipino recipe. Really, the Spanish fish. Yeah. So that I don't take credit for that at all, but I did adjust it so that the ingredients will only be 7 or less. We used exactly 7, and then yeah, it was done, right? It was done within the time that we were cooking it together with you guys. So if you have any suggestions, especially recipes that you love, hand it over to us. And then if it requires more than 7, we'll experiment with it. We don't mind, and then see how we could narrow it down, make it even simpler, and share it with everybody else.
Exactly. Like, for example, to tell you honestly, last week when we did the mushroom with a Spanish recipe for the dish, that's our first time to try mushrooms. And then we were so surprised. I personally was so surprised because we wanted to give people who have a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet to be able to adapt to, this recipe to their liking. So we tried it. I was so shocked. It was really good. And then I had my good friend who is our vegan guru here in this side of the world in Dallas, Texas. I want to give a shout out to Adri de Guzman. I had to make her try the mushroom done the Spanish way because if she approves of it, then it must be good.
It was really good too.
And she really liked it.
Yeah.
The proof to that is she asked me, Marvie, give me the recipe.
Yeah, but that recipe worked well with any kind of fish that we've tried. So I was kind of like almost positive that the mushroom would turn out great, and it turned out awesome.
Right.
Are we almost done?
So Adri, I told Adri, I'm not giving you the recipe. You have to come join us in our next cooking class. 5 more minutes for our Mexican casserole. Does anybody have their Mexican casserole at this point? All good to go? Judy, 3 more minutes.
We want to hear you guys. You can press your space bar and interact with us. Let's see, on Facebook Live. Hi to Luis Guajardo. Hey, bro, how are you?
Oh,
Finn, Erwina, Dylan Knight, we miss you, and Mark.
Yes. Oh, there's a lot of you there. Thank you.
There's a lot. Yeah, you know, again, this is our second time to try Facebook Live. If you saw it last week, it was upside down. Our camera was not
It
really
was
set up.
sideways.
It wasn't set up correctly. So this is our first time to do it, hopefully the proper way. But hi again to everyone who joined us.
Yes. Okay, real quick. We have a few in the audience that I know are vegan. So just real quick, this is how we substitute things to make it vegan. Instead of the regular meat, what I use is sliced cremini, or if you want the most beef taste of all the mushrooms, the best substitute for that type of taste is the portabella. Okay? You slice it up, small pieces, and like for example, this is what I have. Here's the portabella mushroom.
Or Beyond Beef.
Huh?
Or the Beyond Beef.
Or the Beyond Meat, the substitute that
That's true.
Adri
That's
loves,
true.
Beyond Meat.
Thank you, Adri.
And vegan sour cream.
Yes. So there's AD. Do you hear her? Or just plain mushrooms, okay? I'm a big fan of substituting with just vegetables because I'm also trying to steer away from processed stuff, okay? So if you want just plain things, if not Beyond Meat or the other substitutes, you can just use the regular Bella. Sliced. And then instead of the regular sour cream, we use the plant-based sour cream. Like this. It's a plant-based sour cream. Okay? And then last but not the least, for the cheese, my favorite kind is that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Daiya. Adri, is that the right pronunciation? It's the D-A-I-Y.
Used to.
What is it, Daya?
I think it's Daya. I don't know.
Daya, okay.
This. Right?
Mhm.
So with these 3 substitutions or meat substitute, this becomes a vegan dish. Yay! All right. So I have 1
Smells
minute.
so good.
You want to see the casserole from my end?
yes.
First bidding. Let's use. Okay, Tuana, 1, 2, 3. Ta-da!
Ooh.
Again, no oil here. You know, we used the reason why we added water earlier because our meat was actually 90, like the 90.
93%.
Yeah, it's like
93%
higher lean
very lean.
meat, so we couldn't really just brown it on its own oil. So we had to add that water.
Yes, that's why we use the water.
Okay.
Next, you want to see how it looks like in the middle? Cut it up. There you go. Do you see that? Where's Rick? Rick Munoz. Rick will probably love this. There's your
Hey,
cat.
yours look,
All that.
yours look pretty good.
There you go.
There.
The cars look better.
All right. Rick, you want to come? Eat. And Angela. Does it look good, Rick? Is it approved?
It looks very good.
It is actually very good.
He said he's hungry.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it at this heat for a few more minutes because I want it a little bit drier. But I'm gonna taste it now, and let's see. Very good. That's hot, but it's really good.
All right. We're nearing the end. Tawanda, are you doing okay? Judy,
Yep.
done.
Yes.
Find it?
We're trying to taste it, but it's too high.
It's hot.
Okay.
I did not
Blow
burn my
it,
tongue,
blow,
though.
blow, blow, blow. Okay, ready, set, go. Try. I want to see. I want to hear what Judy thinks. This is our test for today.
No taco seasoning. What does it taste like?
Oh, it's good. It's very well flavored. It's good stuff.
Yeah, then you could tweak it now according to your taste.
Okay. Yeah, it's really good. We didn't add any salt either,
Good.
and
Oh, no salt at all. Yeah.
it's good.
Flavor, right? And again, remember, this is pared down. This is the simpler form. So if you add everything else that was in the original recipe, then it will be like a burst of everything, right? A burst of
It's
flavor.
good to as a, like this is a little more moist than usual than the last time we made it. It'll be great for dip too. So if you have like, tortilla chips, perfect. Okay, so are we gonna show,
All right, so just to let you know, next week we are going to feature at 7 what? Okay, I will show you my favorite recipe for a coffee cake. Okay, a coffee cake that actually tastes like coffee. Okay, why am I saying that? Because since I got here in the United States, every single time I see a coffee cake, I get excited. I want to get the coffee cake. They don't taste like coffee, but they call it coffee cake. In the country where I'm from, in my beloved Philippines, our coffee cake tastes like coffee. So I
What about
learned
the-
how to make it that way. So next week, we're going to show you a very simple recipe of a coffee cake, like 4 to 5 ingredients, very simple. So watch out for that. And then side by side, what are we teaching?
Not sure, what did you decide? She has a list, so I don't really know where it's at now.
Right. We are going to show you a very simple version. Angela will know this. I think some of you will be familiar with it. Are you familiar with the chicken lettuce wraps? The Chinese dish that's chicken wraps.
Yes, we do the tofu.
I think
AP does it with tofu. We're going to feature that next week. Well, we're going to make that in such a way where you don't need a lettuce wrap. You can eat it with whatever you have, potato, whatever, with all the substitutions possible. Okay? So watch out for that. It's going to be the tweaked version of the chicken lettuce in the wrap. Plus how you can make your own coffee cake that is a lot healthier than what you will see in the stores.
Sounds good.
Cool? That's it, but
Are we gonna show the apple juice?
oh, go ahead, honey. We want to show you it's not done. We run out of time. Sorry. We're going to need about 5 more minutes in the streusel, but this is how it's turning out on the stovetop. So it's bubbling over, right? So we're just going to leave this open because I want that streusel on top to get a lot more brown. Okay? Because remember, this was completely covered earlier. So now I'm going to crank it for 10 more minutes to finish it up. If you are curious as to how it actually looks like about 2 days later, I just grabbed something. I'll show you our leftover from the refrigerator. This is what it looks like. Go ahead, honey. That's how that looks like. See? We've been eating it. Ta-da! We top it with whipped cream
Or vanilla ice cream.
or vanilla ice cream. Okay, that's the finished product.
The streusel turns out like this.
Yes. Do you like the way it looks, Judy? You should have made it today too, huh? All right. Okay, so here we go. It's 6:01.
It was
Time to
fun,
sign off.
guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. Give us your feedback, please. We're not professional chefs. We're ordinary people just trying to
Cook.
cook because we're not allowed to go out. And so while we're learning, might as well share it with all you guys. So have a fun Sunday. Enjoy the upcoming week. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chatty Marvie. We had fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
That was cool. Ooh, I can't wait to eat.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
How do I remove?
Oh, shout. Hi, mommy, daddy. How are you? You're still on Facebook Live. Oh my goodness. You want me to do it for you?